Man, 0.01 inches behind the cutting edge. Did you know that that's 3 times thinner than the credit card in your wallet right now? In the last video, we thinned this blade. And in this video, we're refinishing all these ugly scratches on it. We're gonna do a dull test on a sweet potato. Then we're gonna take my brand new pivoting knife jig system over to my favorite new toy, the Bucktool BS242V. We're gonna get this thing razor sharp. After that, we're going back to the sweet potato test. And if we don't test under 2,000 grams, I'm throwing this thing into the garage door. Let's grind. I got this little micrometer, pointed micrometer off of AliExpress. And yeah, it's like 10 bucks. Does exactly what I need it to do. Throwing on the Grit 120. Remember, we've already thinned it on the last video. And in this video, we're really just working to refinish this knife. Boy, it got some deep scratches there towards the heel, unfortunately. But it's a personal knife. And we're really just on the quest to see if knife thinning is worth all the work it requires. If you notice, my wrists are locked. And that was a recommendation by a subscriber. I think he might have recommended it on the last 2 videos, actually. And it finally clicked. And I agree. Yeah, this is the way to do it. Gives you a nice, even flow. We're just trying to overtake those Grit 60 scratches. But like I said, a couple of them went really deep. And there becomes a point where, is it worth spending all the extra time to get them out when what really matters is just knife performance? It's just an aesthetic thing, right? All right, let's swap them belts out. This was Grit 60. Now we're gonna, or I'm sorry, Grit 120. We're gonna step up to the next highest I have, which is Grit 600 silicon carbide. This is a new machine, so I don't have all the fancy belts yet. But I do like this silicon carbide belt. On my 1x30, they didn't last as long. So I'm a little worried that's gonna be the same case over here. But they do the job really well. My universal support bar for knife jig sharpening is definitely in my way. I'm gonna have to reassess the whole setup and make sure I have room so I can thin and sharpen. Yeah, get that thing out of here. But boy, this whole knife thinning journey, I mean, I feel like I've just wasted an entire decade just focusing on sharpening. I just never got exposed to thinning in geometry. But what it does for performance is absolutely insane. And I'm super excited because you all are gonna get to see some evidence of how insane it is. Ooh, I like this. Look at that. Just working out the spine here, putting a little bit of a rounded convex edge on it. That way when we jump over to the buffing wheels, it's not as dangerous. These non-woven conditioning belts, in my opinion, are mandatory for your 2x42 system. Now this particular one is not Scotch-Brite. Scotch-Brite is made by 3M. And a 42-inch 3M belt would probably be like 150 bucks. I have no idea how good this is compared to that, but I'm happy with it. It does exactly what I want it to do, and that's kind of just blend together the scratch pattern that I had placed on there with the 120 and the 600. Gives it a nice satin finish. All right, it's time for my favorite part, the buffing wheels. And I never turn these on, even if I just, in between every use, I double check to make sure these things are tight. I've heard too many horror stories on the Sharpeners Discord. One thing I love about these machines, one cable, boom, boom. And when you go and I store them on my shelves, I don't have to take the cable with me, and wrap it up. You know, they never wrap up nice. Give ourselves a little bit of room. This wheel here is absolutely incredible. And it really does a good job at blending the scratches. Before I get into these wheels here, there's a forward apology here. I've got a really high-end microphone, so it picks up all the sounds. And I've got a cold, so my breathing's kind of coming through a little bit more than I'd like it to. But these are called airway wheels. And I really love this. Again, this is a lot like that last belt I was on. This is a non-woven material. Again, not Scotch-Brite. Does the same idea though. It helps blend, but at a micro level. And this wheel here, this is an airway as well, but this is woven fabric. I don't know exactly what kind of fabric. Could be cotton for all I know. But it's infused with abrasives. And this is going to give you that nice shine on the blade. And I'll actually hit these, get that shine going, and then I'll go back to the burgundy wheel that I did. And I actually do that on this knife. I just didn't film it. And I'm kind of curious if this polishing actually adds to the cutting performance of the blade. I don't know for sure, but if you know, please share in the comments below. I'd love to hear, and I'm sure others would as well. Well, next step, time to put an edge on this bad boy. Let me tell you, when you thin a knife, it's actually incredible how quick you can develop the burr. This is the Get Sharp knife jig length projector. This thing saves me probably more time than anything in my shop right now. I absolutely love this tool. We've got a couple extra available right now. Here we go. Get that angle set up. We're using the spine of the jig to get the true plane of the center of the knife. Again, thanks to someone in the comments in the last week. And look at this. Oh yeah, the pivoting jig. First time I've ever filmed using this. And it might be my new favorite way to sharpen on a belt. It felt so good, and I was really happy with the precision, or the way just the overall look of the bevel. Because I'm not going to be super high and low and high on the different ends of the blade. Came out really nice. And it's very comfortable too. Feels comfy, feels safe. I really like it. I felt like I'm in control when I'm sharpening like this. And just like any other time, we're just going to move through that natural grit progression. Jump up from 120. Here we are on 160. And let me tell you, the burr, it was so fast. I think I saw a burr actually on the first pass because the blade is so thin behind the edge. So we're immediately trying to thin it out. And that's what we're doing right now. I didn't film it, but I did reduce the angle by 2/10 at this step. I'm just trying to thin and reduce the burr underneath the root of the burr. But I've never spent so little time on the sharpening process in my life. I was telling the guys in the Discord tonight that I'm more excited about thinning than ever after this particular blade. Just the sharpening went so quick and easy. And in order to completely remove the burr by the root, I increased my edge angle by about half a degree. So here I am at 17.5. Started at 17 and just a couple passes, that's all it takes. And just for good measure, let's hit that kangaroo strop. Anything remaining, we're gonna get those burr flakes off with this. Oh yeah. And just in case those guys are like, well, you should have cut the paper sideways, horizontal, upside down. Here it is. And the diagonal cut's coming. That's a first ever.
I cut it every single direction you can cut it.
We're gonna start with the worst of the cubes first. Oh, I'm getting old. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy compared to yesterday. We're a little bit towards the heel. Okay, I'll save that for a minute. Let's go right down the center of this. This one's a little bit more than 1 square inch. So the more mass surrounding the sweet potato, the more resistance it'll have to cutting. It's just sliding through though. Look at that. I'm sliding and I'm not changing the, look at that. That's something. Wow. I kind of want to show you guys that shot. So it resists and then it doesn't. And it just starts sliding. Look at that. You can't see the reading, I don't think. That one's 1161. Man, wait until you guys see the after photos of this thing at the end of the video. Check it out. But first, this thing started at 0.04 inches yesterday, okay? I thinned it down to 0.02, somewhere in there, I think. And then today, we're dang near at 0.01. It's about a third of what it was behind the edge compared to yesterday. And the cutting performance, holy cow. We were 3,000 grams plus. Now we're down in the 1,200 grams arena. I mean, this stinking knife, like, it's breathing on its own when Oh, it's actually incredible. Big thank you to all the people in the Sharpeners Discord. I'm going to put a link in the pinned comments below. I would not be anywhere near where I'm at in my knife repair journey if it wasn't for the guys and girls over there. Thank you so much, guys. I've learned so much so fast. So many incredible people. And if you want to learn, maybe you're trying to get into the business of sharpening or just want to make a knife like this, and modify, improve a knife to this ability, that's where you want to do it. And hey, huge news next week. Make sure you subscribe. Here's those after photos I promised you.